I'm Deva, your facilitator in family constellation and systemic work. I've been passionate about family constellation for the last 15 years, and this work has been the most transformative tool in my personal growth and in how I relate to people. It has shaped not only my understanding of myself, but also the way I support others in their journey. And today I'm excited to share this powerful approach with you. Family constellation is a therapeutic approach developed by Bert Hellinger, based on his deep observation of family systems and hidden dynamics that shape our lives. His work was influenced not only by Western psychotherapy, but also by his time in Africa, where he lived with the Zulu people as a missionary. There, we witnessed how indigenous tribes resolved conflicts and restored balance through systemic rituals and deep respect for their ancestors. These insights, combined with elements of psychoanalysis and group dynamics, shaped what we know now as family constellation, a powerful tool for revealing and healing entanglements in our family system. I want to start talking about conscience. Conscience is like an invisible bubble that holds together the traditions, beliefs, and habits of a family, a community, a region, or even an entire country. It is shaped by our ancestors, designed to keep us safe. At least, this is the illusion. Our ancestors lived within these structures, and in an attempt to protect us, they unconsciously passed them down, expecting us to stay within the same patterns. But when we step outside this bubble, when we start questioning or breaking away from these inherited dynamics, we often feel like the black sheep of the family. We encounter guilt, fear, and the deep worry of being disconnected, abandoned, or rejected from being different. Yet, this process of stepping out is necessary. There is something called healthy guilt, which we must face in order to find our own path. By embracing this journey, we are not only liberating ourselves, but we are also bringing healing to our lineage. When we step into our truth, we break cycles that have been unconsciously carried for generations. And in doing so, we create freedom, not just for ourselves, but also for those who came before us and those who will come after. When we work with family constellation, we step into what is known as the systemic field or the morphogenetic field. This is an invisible yet powerful energy field that connects us to our family system, our ancestors, and the unconscious dynamics that shape our lives. We are all immersed in this field, whether we are aware of it or not. It holds the memories, patterns, and unresolved traumas of our lineage. When we participate in a constellation, something extraordinary happens. Even though the representatives have no prior knowledge of the person they are representing, they begin to access information that goes beyond the rational mind. By tuning into the field, they start to feel emotions, physical sensations, or impulses that are deeply connected to the family system of the person that is being constellated. This process requires trust in the body, trust in the sensations that arise, and trust in the intelligence of the field itself. What unfolds in the constellation is not random. It is a direct representation of what is happening in the soul of the person seeking healing. Through this embodied experience, hidden dynamics come to light, allowing movement toward resolution, balance, and a deeper sense of belonging. In life, we often move in an unconscious way. We are not always fully aware of what we say, how we behave, or how we relate to others. In family constellations, this unconscious way is called blind love. Blind because we do not see the deeper forces at play, and love because at its core, our actions come from a deep, unconscious desire to stay connected to those who came before us. Many of the patterns we repeat, whether they bring us suffering or not, are actually acts of love. We unconsciously take on burdens, behaviors, or fates of our ancestors as a way to remain loyal, to belong. But this kind of love often keeps us entangled in old cycles, preventing us from living fully. The three principles of love bring awareness to these unconscious patterns. They help us shift from blind love to a more mature love, one that is conscious, free, and in harmony with the natural order of life. By understanding these principles, we can honor our past without being trapped by it, allowing love to flow in a healthier and more liberating way. The first principle of love is belonging. It tells us that everyone has the right to belong, just as they are. I belong as I am. You belong as you are. We all belong as we are. This principle is also about inclusion. Yet in life, we often see exclusion happening. Out of pain, individuals can be rejected or forgotten. Perhaps an uncle struggled with alcoholism, was abusive, or even took someone's life. So the family stopped speaking about him, as if he no longer exists. Or maybe someone passed away suddenly or at a young age, and the pain of their loss was too much to bear. So instead of facing and transforming the pain, they were hidden in silence. But in truth, they still belong. The family system is very intelligent, and it seeks wholeness. When someone is excluded, the system will find a way to restore balance. A newborn baby entering that family is like a sponge, will sense the missing presence and may unconsciously take on behaviors, emotions, or patterns that mirror that excluded person, reminding the system of what was lost. This is why we see children carrying burdens that do not belong to them, playing out destinies that repeat past wounds. The system wants inclusion because belonging is a fundamental truth. This includes children who passed away, those who were aborted, previous partners, emotions not expressed, and even ancestors whose life ended suddenly. We often think we must behave in a certain way to deserve belonging, to be accepted. But in reality, the simple fact that our mother said yes to us, that we were born into this family, already gives us the right to belong. Nothing more is needed. The beauty of the principle of belonging is that we do not need to keep repeating the same patterns of behaviors as our ancestors. We are free to be who we are, regardless of unconscious dynamics that may have played out in our families. Even if our parents, for example, unconsciously tell us, if you do this, you no longer belong to this family. That is not the truth. The truth is, you will always be their child. You will always be the first or the second child, and they will always be your mother and your father. No matter what happens, they are your parents and you're their child. The relationship is eternal in that sense. We all have the right to belong, just as we are. But for this to happen, we also need to accept our parents as they are. This does not mean we agree with everything they did or that we have to accept harmful actions. It means recognize that, just like us, they are part of our larger system. They too have their own wounds, limitations, and stories. To truly belong, we must honor our parents and ancestors, accepting them as they are. When we do this, we create space for everyone to be included. It's only by accepting the truth of who they are, with all their imperfections, that we can step into our own truth and belong fully to ourselves and to the family. And now I have a question for you. Take a moment to reflect on it. Can you notice any behaviors, patterns, or ways of speaking that you have unconsciously repeated from your mother or father or another member of the family? Perhaps you chose a certain career path, studied specific subjects, or even developed certain behaviors that, even though you don't like them, reflect what your parents did. For example, you might find yourself saying the same things to your children that your mother or father say to you, even though you promised yourself you wouldn't. These are unconscious ways of saying, even though I may not agree with you, I still belong to you. I'm still part of the family. Sometimes we even travel to the other side of the planet and still repeat these patterns, just to prove unconsciously that we are still connected. So again, can you notice what behaviors or way of saying things or patterns you are repeating? The second principle of love is about hierarchy or order, and it teaches us that each person has their rightful place in the family system. This order is often connected to when we came into this world. We know that there is a first child, a second child, a third child, and so on. For example, let's imagine a situation where a second child was aborted or lost before birth. That second place, that position, still belongs to that child, even though they are no longer alive. If we don't honor this, the third child might feel as if they are in the wrong place. They might experience a deep unconscious connection to death, a pull toward it, or even feel a lack of purpose in life or a deep depression. This is why it's so important to recognize and respect the space of that second child, so the third one can fully claim the rightful place as the third child in the family. Also, hierarchy teaches us that the relationship between the parents came before the children. Often, we may feel that we know better, and we think we have the right to tell our parents how to behave or how to relate to each other. But this is not our place. Our place is to focus on our own life, to fully step into our role as their children. The parents' relationship came first, and we are their children, born after that bond. And let's not forget about previous partners or children. They too need to be included and respected in the family system. If a parent had a previous wife or children, or if there was a previous partner, they too are part of the story. Their place must be recognized for the system to be in harmony. For example, the children of a previous relationship with their needs come before the new partner, and the previous partner will have a place in the heart, even if there is now a new partner. And this will bring a sense of safety and relaxation also in the new relationship. Most of the time, we unconsciously step out of our place in the family. Energetically, we are pulled in many directions. For example, we may step in the middle of our mother and father, trying to keep them together, but in doing so, we interfere with their connection. When we try to mediate or protect them, we disrupt the natural bond between them. Our place is not in the middle of their relationship. Sometimes, for example, when our mother is sad or going through a difficult time, we may unconsciously feel the need to support or protect her. But when we do this, we step behind her, in the place of our grandparents, not respecting our own place as the child of our parents. We take on a responsibility that isn't ours, and in doing so, we don't respect our mother and not even our grandparents, taking their place. When we don't stay in our own place, we can feel lost, as if we don't have a clear direction in life. It's hard to find our own path when we haven't first claimed our place in the family. And when we step out of place, we create tension. Tension may arise with our mother because we unconsciously position ourselves above her, or tension with our siblings as we disrupt their places in the family system. These tensions are signals that we aren't in the right place, and it's very important to return to our place to restore balance. I have another question for you. Do you notice the place you are taking in your family of origin? When do you step out of your place? For example, are you supporting your mother or father financially, or in ways that are not in alignment with your role as the child? When you speak to them, do you find yourself taking on a parental or adult role instead of staying in the position of being the little one? And with your siblings, are you able to stay in your place, whether as the first, middle, or last child, without losing your sense of self or your position within the family? To visually see your place in the family, I also invite you to draw your family tree with your grandparents, your parent, and their siblings, you and your siblings, in the right order, and in case you have, your partner and children. And remember to include those that have been excluded, like premature death and abortions, and previous important relationships. And also take a moment to look at your place and simply feel how it is to be there. The third principle, giving and receiving, is foundational to the flow of love and life within the family system. It highlights that parents' role is to give, and the children's role is simply to receive. This is the natural flow that ensures balance and harmony. However, when there is a disruption in this dynamic, when children feel they must give something back, or parents still carrying unfulfilled needs from their parents, energetically ask from their children, it creates a blockage. The flow of love is stunted and both parties feel stuck. The children may feel burdened by the idea that they must repay their parents, or they might take on a role of care or emotional support that isn't there to carry. This can make it difficult to fully step into their own lives and relationships. In truth, no matter what the parents give, the greatest gift they offer is life itself, and we can never truly repay them for that. Instead, we can honor them by fully receiving from them, acknowledging the love and gifts they have given us, and then turning that energy towards our own lives. This allows us to step into our new family, our relationships, or our passions, bringing our full selves and the love we've received into those spaces. This is how life and love continue to flow. The principle of giving and receiving also applies to romantic relationships, and it's crucial that this energy is balanced. In a healthy relationship, the flow of energy between partners should be like a dance. Sometimes one gives a little and the other receives, and in other moments the role reverse. It's not about keeping a score or expecting an equal transactional exchange, like I give you 100 and you give me 100. That will turn the relationship into a business deal rather than a love-based connection. When the energy is flowing freely between partners, love can blossom and the relationship can grow. But if one partner is continually in the position of giving and the other is constantly in the position of receiving, or vice versa, it creates an imbalance. This dynamic can unconsciously replicate parental roles, such as mother-child or father-child relationships, and distort the nature of the romantic connection. Energetically, this can make the relationship feel stuck, as it's no longer about an adult partnership, but rather a dynamic of dependency or caretaking. The relationship will not grow in a healthy way, and both individuals may feel drained or dissatisfied. One of the most visible signs that this principle is not being respected is when intimacy and sex begin to suffer. For sex to flow, there cannot be any child around. The sexual energy can only move freely when both partners meet as equals. No one is in the role of the parent and no one is in the role of the child. When the balance is off, it can lead to frustration or a lack of connection and intimacy. Bringing this principle into balance in a romantic relationship means making sure that both partners are in the same place energetically, giving and receiving in a natural and harmonious way, without expectation or a sense of depth. This creates the space for the relationship to flourish, deepen, and be fulfilling for both individuals. Another question for you. Can you notice the ways you may feel you need to give something back to your parents, or how they may ask for something from you, energetically or emotionally, that is not yours to give? Are you able to fully receive from them the way a child should, and then move forward to give in your own life without feeling stuck or burdened by past debts? And can you notice moments in your relationship where the giving and receiving might feel imbalanced? Is there something that keeps you in the giving positions, perhaps because it allows you to feel in control or superior? Or is there something that keeps you in the receiving position, maybe because it allows you to stay in the child energy and feel supported and taken care of? How can you bring balance back into the relationship so that love and intimacy can flow freely without expectation or pressure? As we wrap up this lesson, I invite you to reflect on these three principles of love and how they play out in your relationships, both with your family of origin and in your current life. The path of healing and growth is a continuous one. And as we dive deeper into these principles, we'll explore many other aspects of life together, like death, money, job, success, illness, adoptions, abortion, and trauma. Each of these themes holds a unique invitation to heal and reconnect with our true self. When we'll gather for the on-site training, we will have the opportunity to go even further into these topics, giving us space to transform, release old patterns, and step into a life that is fully ours. And this is the basic of doing this work. So coming on this side, it's important that we explore these topics in ourselves first, before supporting others. I'm excited to journey with you through this process, and I trust that each step will bring you closer to the love, freedom, and connection that you truly deserve. And enjoy the next session.